And I was coaching the leaders of a large corporate. They had grown well, they had scaled very well, and they were looking to grow a lot more. So the company had 4 directors, and I met each of the 4 and had a one-on-one conversation with them. So the first director, when I asked him, I said, what does growth mean to you? So he says, we've grown very well, but for us to grow more, we need to introduce newer products. And I think if we can introduce new products, we will grow more. The second director, I asked him the same question, and he tells me, for us to grow more, I think we need to diversify into some related things, right? And that's what will give us the growth. The third director, when I ask him, what does growth mean to you? He tells me, I think the Indian market is saturated. Let's go to the Middle East market. I think there's a lot of scope for us to grow there. And the fourth director, he tells me, oh, there is a lot of debt for the company. I think if we can pay off the debts, that will mean a lot of financial growth for us. So you see, the same question, the same company, each of them had different answers. I'm not here to debate who is right, who is wrong, but unless all your energies are synergized into the same direction, you're in for trouble. Similarly, in your personal finance, do you want the millions, billions, trillions? What exactly do you want? Think about that, because be clear on what does financial growth mean to you. Oh, by the way, I have a WhatsApp group, a community. It's called Fly High. It stands for Finance, Leadership, and Your High Performance. So if you'd like to be part of it, do feel free to join in here, and I send a message every day. The fourth bulb on moment. You know, I keep getting asked, is it good to take loans? You know, I say there are 3 kinds of loans. One is the emergency loan. It's a no-brainer, it's an emergency, and therefore you'll have to get a loan. But the important ones are, is it a good loan or a bad loan? Now, what's the difference? A good loan is something that's going to help you grow your revenue. For example, maybe you've taken an education loan because you believe that education is going to help you land up in a good job, right? And it's growing your revenue. Bad loan, on the other hand, what is that? Something that does not contribute to your revenue growth. For example, would you like to get that latest gadget, right? Oh, feels so good, right? But is it generating revenue? Think about this. And the same is applicable in your business as well. You may want to buy the machinery and the equipment to produce more so that your revenue can grow. And on the other hand, if you're taking a loan just for the sake of running your daily operations, that is not a good loan. So my friends, I'd like to ask you, before taking a loan, check if the loan is going to be productive or destructive. Think about it. Let me move on to the 5th bulb on moment, buddies, and this is about your personal finance. Now, if there's one thing I'd really like you all to walk away with from my talk, it is this. Savings first, investment next, and expenses last. You know, many times people tend to do the reverse. They want to spend it all and then save whatever else is balance. But reverse it. Save first, invest that money, and then you spend what is remaining. Don't bite off more than you can chew. You know, the credit cards and other instruments are so exciting. I don't have money now, but hey, this is so good. Can I go and get it? Right? So don't bite off more than you can chew. Know the difference between an appreciating asset and a depreciating asset. An appreciating asset is actually going to help you because it appreciates in value, whereas the depreciating asset is something that depreciates in value. So please be mindful of that. Do you know the eighth wonder of the world? It's the power of compounding. And that's how your money will grow and multiply. So invest wisely. The last thing, don't put all your eggs in the same basket. You know, the times we live in, there is so much of uncertainty, there's so much happening. So the best is to diversify all your money. I've spoken more about this in my TEDx talk. You will find as What the Finance. I have shared a lot more. Since there is not enough time, I'm not getting into that. I'm sure you can catch it on my TEDx talk. So I want to leave you with this. What financial potential are you leaving untapped so that you can grow and maximize your money potential? Think about it. I'm happy to connect with you all. You can find me on social media as the Gain Enabler. I'm active on LinkedIn. I keep sharing videos on YouTube and of course Insta and other things. So feel free to connect and happy to be a part of your growth journey. The next bulb on moment. You know, many times I get asked, how can I grow my money? How can I get richer? But my friends, for you to get there, you need to do some back work. What is that? Remember the 4 P's. The first being your purpose. Why do you do what you do? In fact, I'm reminded of a coaching conversation I had with the CEO and MD of a large corporate, a listed company. I asked him during our coaching conversation, what is your purpose? And you know what he tells me? Oh, my purpose is just to make more money. That doesn't drive you enough. That can be your end result. But what exactly is your purpose? Think about it. Even for you personally, you know, what is it that you would like to achieve? Think about it. The second P are your principles. What are those principles that govern you to take your decisions and that make you do what you do the way you want it to do? Think about it. The third P is your performance. How can you get better at what you do? Are you being consistent? How is your quality? How effective is it? How good is your product or service? Think about that. And what are those metrics that will help you get to measure and get better at your performance? Think about it. And the last P is your priorities. Each of us have different priorities. Even in business, you know, your capital, your time, your energy, everything is limited. So how effectively can you put to use all of these? Think about it, because that helps you arrive at your financial focus areas. So where is it that you want to focus your time, money, energy, and effort so that you can get the most? Think about it. Oh, so this is what I do. I work with leaders and teams on helping them to grow on purpose, performance, and profits. And I have written a couple of books. One is called Get High, How to Coach Yourself for High Performance in Your Work. It's an activity-based book. It's been endorsed by New York Times bestseller, Dr. Marshall Goldsmith. And then Where's the Moolah, like I told you, is on financial growth hacking for business profitability. Who Leads Who is on stress-free leadership, tools and practices of the art of living. And What the Finance is, of course, on the simple, practical ways through which you can manage your business finance and help you take the right decision. You don't have to be a finance expert, but how can you navigate your way through easily? So those are there. I believe there is some stall outside that's selling these books, so please feel free to pick them up. Happy to sign them for you as well. The last bulb on moment I want to share with you. Before you take any decision, I want you to stop. Standing for step back. Before you make a decision, think about the different financial implications, the repercussions that it have. How will it impact your cash flow? Think about it. Then you think. Look at the big picture. Look at those different perspectives and then you think about it. Thereafter, you organize your thoughts and then you proceed. Simply because how are your financial decisions shaping your future? Because whatever decision you take has an impact, and that is what is going to shape your future. So please think about it. My friends, like they say, money in the hands of good people is really good. Because the good people, not only do they do charity, but they are also not only building themselves, building their family, but they build communities, they are building businesses, and most importantly, they are contributing to the economic growth of our nation. So, I want to leave you with this thought. What financial impact will you create for our nation's growth? What financial impact will you create for our nation's growth? Thai manne vanakam, amma tujhe salam, vande mataram, vande mataram. Wishing you prosperity and abundance in everything that you do. Thank you.